Hello you good people, there is no better day than today to take you on another graphics card review, and not just any graphics card, but we are looking at the GALAX GeForce RTX 3080 Ti series gamer. Well, it's definitely good news that these graphics cards are available in Singapore right now. Well, I don't know how many copies, you know how it is like these days. I can talk about this all day, but anyway. Well, it seems Nvidia has been going full on out, right, to introduce a Ti version to every single 30 series graphics card that they have launched, with the exception of the RTX 3090. To be honest, between them putting their resources to developing more enhanced versions of their graphics cards, I would have really appreciated if, there were more thoughts and resources put into how we can make these graphics cards more available for people globally. So the GALAX GeForce RTX 3080 Ti graphics card takes an identical look to that of the 3080 as well as the 3070, with the exception that the 3070 has a single 8-pin power header. Well, I have reviewed both the GALAX GeForce RTX 3080 series gamer graphics card as well as the 3070s previously. You will be able to find the links in the description below, or alternatively you can head over to my gaming gears playlist and access the videos from there. So as you would have seen earlier, there is an acrylic GPU support provided in the package, as these 30 series GPUs are generally quite heavy and could potentially have some GPU sag. So here you see this is what it looks like. It is a little bit fuzzy and blurry because there is a plastic laminate on it. I'm not going to remove it because I'm not going to be using it. It says "What's your game?" tagline on it, and if you notice, it comes with this cable which you can plug in alongside to the power source and therefore have an RGB lighted GPU stand. Pretty nice. Now if we go back to the graphics card, the design of the 3080 graphics card take on that of a simple white lines on black background, matte all around. So if you look at all sides, they are quite simple in the sense, and the good thing is that none of these parts looks or feels cheap. It is in fact 317mm by 113mm and 61mm thick. So this is in fact a 2.5 slot GPU. So you will see on the I/O that this has 3 display ports, 1 HDMI port that supports the latest 8K displays. The ventilation holes here takes on, I'm not sure if you can see it, takes on this XOXO design. That's how I feel it looks like. Well, in the last decade, this is a simple abbreviation for hugs and kisses, so to me it looks really cute, very nice. On the other side, you get 3 92mm fans. GALAX calls these wing blades. They are designed to provide you high airflow at low fan noise, and additionally, these 3 fans are built with RGB, so they do light up. If you ask me, GALAX not stingy on the RGB. They have the 3 fans lighting up, as well as just the headline, "What's your game?" the front of the graphics card, which makes it sufficient. I think that is sufficient RGB for now. So whether you decide to mount your graphics card horizontally, which you would just get to see a bit of RGB here, and then of course the RGB from the fans will cast the light down at the bottom of your case below it, or if you do a vertical build, then you will just showcase your 3 RGB fans. So I've got the Meshlicious case here with the RTX 3080 Ti in the Meshlicious case, and you can see with the mesh over it, it is beautiful to see the lights coming from the fans, and without the mesh, just as great. I've also done a review on the Meshlicious case on my channel, so do check it out if you too find the case just so charming and you're really interested to find out if this case is suitable for you. Now the fans also adopt a new fan stop mechanism where it intelligently turns on and off for optimal balance between performance and fan noise, which means that when the usage is low, the fan is basically in idle state. On the other side of the graphics card, you get a solid metal backplate with a cutout on one end for ventilation, as well as ventilation all around the sides of the graphics card, such that the graphics card will use its 3 fans to intake air and exhaust the hot air from the top as well as the sides. So this structure, something to note when you do your PC build, to make sure that nothing obstructs the intake of fresh air and nothing is sitting closely to where the hot air is exhausted from. So like the RTX 3070 and 3080 series gamers GPUs, there is a little fan included in the package, which we call it the one-click booster fan. So this one-click booster fan basically has got 80mm fan blades. You can see it from the rear side. And what it actually does is that you refer to the back plate, there is a cutout, you fix it over the cutout. It's quite simple because of the angle. There you go. And he has a cable there which you can plug into the GPU for power to the fan. And this fan helps with heat dissipation, such that, previously we mentioned that the 3 fans here would take in fresh air to have it push out and exhaust the hot air from the sides as well as from the cutout on the top. So this fan helps to push the hot air out further. So in a way, creating a correct push-pull effect of air ventilation within the GPU. So in a way, it is quite similar to how the Founders Edition graphics card with 3 fans, but in this case we have 4. Why not have 4 when you already have 3? But that aside, if we look at the booster fan on this GPU, it takes on a seamless look in terms of design. I'm not sure if the fan will light up if you have one of these graphics cards. Do let me know in the comments. Do they light up, or is this only for power? It would be cool if it does. In any case, this innovation for a one-click booster fan from GALAX basically allows you to get more performance out of your GPU without compromising on temperatures or fan noise. The GALAX graphics card also comes with an accompanying app called the Extreme Tuner, which allows you to view system information. You could change the RGB lighting from that app. You could change or adjust your fan speed and also perform a one-click overclock using that app. So given that that app is available on the mobile device, say you want to make a change to your fan speed whilst you're gaming, you won't have to exit your game anymore and could just make that change on the mobile app, making the experience all the more easier with an ease of accessibility. Okay, now let me put this down. My hands are going numb and it is really not a heavy graphics card. I have felt heavier ones. This is fine. I could use it for bicep curls and it wouldn't do anything. Anyway, I think it is very natural for us to make a direct comparison between the RTX 3080 as well as the RTX 3080 Ti. And whilst we know that physically they look the same, when it comes to specs, they are absolutely almost different. The first notable difference is that the RTX 3080 Ti comes with 10,240 CUDA cores compared to the RTX 3080 at 8,704. But this is only slightly below the 10,496 CUDA cores in the RTX 3090. So if you're wondering what are CUDA cores and what does it do? So CUDA cores facilitates the GPU to perform multiple tasks simultaneously, which means obviously the larger the number, the better, as it reflects that it is basically more efficient at multitasking. Following that, the RTX 3080 Ti also has a higher base clock at 1.44 GHz as opposed to the RTX 3080 at 1.37 GHz. And on top of that, a higher boost clock at 1.71 GHz as opposed to the RTX 3080 at 1.67 GHz. The RTX 3080 Ti also has a 12GB of memory and a memory interface with similar to that of the RTX 3090 at 384-bit versus the RTX 3080, which has a 10GB of memory with a memory interface width of 320-bit. So when we review all these specs, right, I start to question, do we compare the 3080 Ti with the 3080? Because the specs of the 3080 Ti seems to be a lot closer to that of the 3090. But in this case, because I don't have access to a 3090 graphics card, we're just going to do a comparison directly with the 3080. And here we're going to look at how the 3080 Ti performs in terms of gaming and frame rates.
There's that bastard! Rudnick's headed out the back!
Here, shit!
Get out of here. Dying.
So which graphics card should you get that will give you the best bang for buck? At this point in time, I think it really depends on what you intend to use it. If it's just for basic productivity or gaming, or you're doing heavy video editing and rendering. If we look at the MSRPs of the NVIDIA Founder Edition graphics card, which we are looking at the 3080 Ti being $300 cheaper than the RTX 3090, and $500 more expensive than the 3080. In general, when we look at the specs, the RTX 3080 Ti does appear as a significant improvement over the RTX 3080 and now sits between that of the 3080 and 3090, as I have said earlier. And if we compare all the Ti introduced, the 3080 Ti would have been one of the better upgrades so far. And this is just looking at specs, right? I haven't tested any of the 3070 Ti or 3060 Ti, so I shan't comment more on that. Now going back to the GALAX GeForce RTX 3080 Ti series gamer graphics card, here are some of my views. Firstly, I really like how reasonably sized this graphics card is. It is a 2.5 slot graphics card. At 317mm long, I would say that it is a reasonable size, especially for mini ITX cases if you want to go small form factor. Now, I wouldn't say that I have built a lot of PCs with the GALAX 30 series graphics card, but I haven't yet come across any case where I couldn't fit this GPU. Secondly, aesthetically, this GPU works for me. The simple black and white matte look works for me with the RGB, especially the RGB on the 3 fans. The look on my Meshlicious would have been so dull and boring on the side of the GPU if it weren't for the RGB fans. Well, if I had used a GPU that doesn't have RGB fans, I could have used the glass panel on the GPU side on the Meshlicious, add some LED strips around the border so it lights up the GPU. Very cool. But adding a lot of RGB lights within a mini ITX case is not so simple with the ITX motherboard's lack of USB ports. Here in the Meshlicious, I have the NZXT's USB hub to add more RGB components, and the hub just took up space I could have allocated for storage drives. Anyway, the third point I'd like to talk about is how GALAX has introduced the one-click booster fan. So basically, this fan is optional and it is a fourth fan to include on your graphics card to help with heat dissipation. So the fan, when you attach it on, takes on a seamless look. It doesn't look odd, it looks perfectly natural. But my pain point is that I have been using the GALAX GeForce RTX 3070, I've been using the 3080, and now we're having the 3080 Ti here. I've never once been able to use the one-click booster fan ever. Outside of mini ITX cases, we talk about mid towers and so forth. It is often the layout of the components on the motherboard that obstructs the installation of the booster fan. That to me is a huge pity because it is a great innovation, but no chance to utilize that. That said, without the booster fan, it also brings me to the final point of my opinion, which is that the GALAX GeForce RTX 3080 Ti does a very good job in keeping itself cool. Cool not as in how it looks, but really physically cool. In the performance review, I have gamed on AAA games for hours, and I do that because I get distracted and I forgot that I'm testing temperatures and I really get immersed into the gaming. And I have never heard the fans go on loudly from the graphics card. We hear them from the radiator, the air cooler, but not the graphics card. Now, I'm not going to the conversation of temps because this, I believe, is widely impacted by the case that you use, the breathability of your PC case, so it wouldn't give a fair indication unless I've tested out in a couple of cases. Now, my view is that if you've got a deeper pocket, whether it's the 3090, whether it's the 3080 Ti, the 3080 or the 3070 Ti, I'd say go for the one that you can find available. Because right now it's true that the stocks are still very low across many regions. But I have chatted with lots of you good people out there in the comments that you guys place for me, and it seems like the stock situation is a lot better now in a lot of countries. How is the availability situation in your country? Let me know in the comments below. I really love to hear from you on this one. In fact, this is timely for me to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for all your valuable comments and feedback on my videos, on my reviews, on my channel to help me grow as a person and grow the channel as well. So for all your subscription and support and feedback, thank you so much. Now, if you're new to the channel, I hope you enjoyed what we here at The Normal People has brought to you. And I'd say subscribe to our channel so that you get the latest updates on more reviews and more videos. Thank you so much for watching to this point. Take care and keep safe. Over and out.